Welcome to the Virtual Ball Boys podcast. My name is Chris, and I am joined once again by my good friend, Matt.
All right, Chris, it's been a few weeks, about 2.5 weeks, right?
Since...
I think since Scarlet and Violet came out.
Oh, yeah.
And I think I'm ready to give the conclusion.
Sure.
That Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet, and this may be controversial.
Sure.
They are Pokemon games.
I mean, I feel like that. I feel like there's been a lot of debate about Scarlet and Violet. I don't know if it's a Pokemon game. It was amongst the controversy, but hey.
I'm here to settle it. They are Pokemon games.
All right. Well, you heard it here first.
It is settled. It is settled.
Yeah.
We've done the research.
Yeah.
Pokemon games.
Man, and like obviously there's a lot to be said about should we have had 2 Pokemon games this year and all that. But man, what a year for Pokemon! Legends Arceus was so good too. I think about Legends Arceus every once in a while. I'm just like, that brought me joy. I hope that once I do end up picking up Scarlet, that it will bring me the same a similar amount of joy.
It's really fucking good, Chris.
I know. I trust you. It's gonna be a lot of me getting out of my comfort zone, trying to like understand Pokemon mechanics a lot more. I mean, I think what's helpful is that, and at least we've seen this through 2 straight games now, is that they are good about like, hey, if you don't know like what type is like faced against what type or whatever, like at the very least we'll show you what moves are going to be super effective and not effective against.
Yes, they've been doing that since Gen 7.
Yeah, like to me, like that's just that's really all I need for the most part, and there's logical conclusions I can make about certain types, I'm sure, as well. There's some sort of like mental barrier I have to get through, but there's also just so many good Pokemon designs in this game. I just cannot wait to form my little team of food. I don't know how I'm gonna pull it off, but I want to make sure it's all team of food.
You have 3 right off the bat that are very, very good.
Yeah,
I can probably help you with the other ones, whether you want to stay Gen 9 or.
Oh,
not.
I'm open to whatever, because
then you will have a perfect time getting an all food team
and an effective one, hopefully, as well.
Yes. I can even think of another one. I can think of another one that is like actually food themed.
Yeah, because I obviously like Fuecoco is the easiest. Like he's the starter. He's the little jalapeno boy, and then I have Smoliv and the Fido, yeah. And so then I'll build from there. Like those, I'm excited. I think he's a little tease for people, and I don't know if I don't know how many people really give a shit, but it's something I'm excited about. I am gonna try to get back into streaming shit and recording videos at some point. So among those streams could be my diving into Pokemon Scarlet. So
I would love that. I just said to not spoil, because all those have been like officially revealed and people still may be avoiding spoilers. I did send another food type of Pokemon to you.
Okay. Ooh, I did not know about that. I mean, I dove into the spoilers even before the game came out, because fucking Pokemon has a leak problem for some reason.
It absolutely does, because everybody just wants to know.
Yeah, and so I did not see that amongst the leaks, and so I'm excited to see a full look at that Pokemon. But anyways, enough of the Pokemon talk. I'm excited for that. We're gonna have our Game of the Year episode of the Gaming Coop sometime later this month, and I'm super excited about. We're gonna be talking. I'm guessing we're gonna be talking about Scarlet and Violet.
There's no other option for me.
No, I know. Well, it's been a pretty decent year for you too, because you also had another Pokemon game and Splatoon. Like yeah, a good sprinkle of good shit. But I know nothing's gonna compare to what Scarlet and Violet has been, which is one of the best generations in a while. So
yep,
it's a really good time to be a Pokemon fan. But yes. We are going to talk about football here. We had a great week. We went into this week kind of looking at things. It was a very tight pick contest because all these games were so hard to pick because they look so good on paper. And I would say generally this was a pretty good week. I think we ended with Monday Night Football was got excited at the very end, but the primetime games were kind of duds. But beyond that, the Sunday afternoon stuff was very, very good. And so it was hard to pick a game of the week. And so I zeroed in on Jets at Vikings. This is maybe a controversial pick. Maybe I should have gone Bengals Chiefs, the easy pick. I just feel like we've done so much Chiefs as the game of the week. I'm just like, Jets at least is a new face here. Vikings, this is their third appearance in this category. But I just want to talk about these Jets real quick. Any other time that a Jets team, especially a Jets team that just lost, right? We were just like, why would that be interesting enough for a game of the week? It's just a new era for this Jets team where you have a guy, his name is Mike White, all right? It is as close as you could get to like the most generic name out there of John Smith. It's borderlines. It just borderlines gets very close, right?
Yep.
But you got a guy like Mike White who, despite this team end up, being down early, they come back and they just have this strong showing, especially on defense for the Vikings. Man, like, the fact that they won this game is kind of wild because their offense was not great for a majority of it, and it was thanks to the Jets defense playing as well as it was. But that the red zone situation, you have to give credit to the Vikings because every single time, especially near the end of the game when they got to that red zone, it was just so difficult for the Jets to break through. But the fact that this game was as competitive as it was and kind of as exciting as it was, I wanted to have this moment just to be like, I am really rooting for the Jets to make the playoffs. Like, I want this to happen. I want them to break through because probably next year they're probably going to have Aaron Rodgers on their team.
No,
that's what I'm thinking.
No,
at this point. And so
no.
This is the last time I can enjoy the Jets in some capacity, and so I feel
damn,
like
he really is following Brett Favre's footsteps, huh?
That's why. I think that's why everyone is. There's so many people that are saying that's his next landing spot. And granted, a lot of Jets fans are gonna want it, and like I get it. It's not as much as it's. Not
You have Mike White.
I know. Well, that's the thing, though. And I think that there's a lot of people who are just waiting for the game where he turns back into a pumpkin, and that's valid. It could happen. But, man, it could happen this week. Like, they face the Bills. Like, that's a difficult matchup. But I just love this team. I want to see good things happen to this team. And the Vikings, they've just had such a weird season to be sitting at 10-2, but they are a win away, and they have a great matchup this week against the Lions. This has been such a very interesting, weird year of the NFL, and I'm enjoying it. And the Jets Vikings was kind of a representation of that. Like, in any other circumstance, I don't know how interesting that game would be.
Yes.
Anyways, that's my soliloquy on that. Did you see any of this game?
I did not.
Okay.
I think it was. It may have been on in my market, but I was watching Bears Packers.
Fair enough. Yeah. No mention of Bears Packers. Maybe for the better.
Good. Yeah. Just move on.
Yeah. The blowout of the week. I'm so mad because I really wanted to include the Lions on this.
Yeah.
They took down the Jaguars in excruciating fashion in a 40-14 victory. But it goes to the Cowboys again. The Cowboys fucking did it again. And in one of the most wild blowouts you would ever see, because
it wasn't really a blowout until like the last half of the quarter, right? I went to sleep, but I heard that it was just a weird ending.
It was just like fourth quarter, it's 28-19. It ends 54-19.
Yeah.
Like,
I even
the floor fell out.
I started doing like daily fantasy, and I did something for that game, and when I went to bed, I was like, oh, I didn't get anything, and then I woke up and I had $4 because of how many points Tony Pollard, Dak Prescott, and their defense scored.
It was so bizarre because I actually didn't get the chance to tune into the game a ton. But I looked down at my phone, and I saw it was closer, and I was on the verge of turning it on and turning it back on and be like, all right, this might be more interesting than I anticipated. And then I looked down again, and it's like they're up 40 points, and I was just like, all right, I don't need to do this. I think we know where this game's going at this point. But there you go, the Cowboys once again dominant, and the Colts still are the Colts.
They're still the Colts.
So the chaos of the week was very difficult because pretty much no chaos happened. That in terms of how we describe chaos, which is just like underdogs. Like not a lot of dogs won this week. So I decided to make this week's chaos Commanders at Giants.
Yes.
Because it's our second tie.
Woo! Ties. I love ties
of the year.
I love ties.
And you know what? I wonder. I have a conspiracy theory right now because the Commanders Giants game for next in 2 weeks they play each other. It's like a quick turnaround. I hate when they fucking do that. They should spread those things out more. Whatever. They flexed that into Sunday Night Football. In week 15, they replaced it with Patriots Raiders, which that makes sense, right? Like that it's a 2 teams on the playoff bubble versus Patriots Raiders, which I mean both of those might,
who cares?
Yeah, I don't know, they could be interesting, but whatever. But I wonder if that game ends in anything else but a tie, do they flex that game into primetime? Like I don't know. I feel like I feel like they saw the tie and they're like, well, why don't we put the tiebreaker on national TV? Like, why don't we just put it on Sunday Night Football? And
or maybe they just didn't have any better options that weren't blocked.
Well, I don't know. Jets Lions are there. I don't
know. I mean, like, it makes sense in the realm of like why they did it because hey, these both. It could if Seattle stays good, it could be a matter of like, hey, whichever team wins between the Giants and Commanders is in the playoffs and the other one isn't.
Right.
Competing with Seattle. Like the 4 division winners are going to be the 4 division winners, and then it's going to be Dallas for sure, and then either Washington, New York, or Seattle. 2 of those 3.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, it's like we're in a weird situation where I feel like I don't know. I was gonna say I feel like the division winners at this point in the NFC feel locked in, but then you have the weirdness of the Bucks and the NFC South because Bucks have a tough schedule going forward.
Yeah, but the fact that they beat the Saints is enough for me.
Yeah, I mean.
Granted, last 3 minutes, 14-point comeback, but a comeback nonetheless.
Yeah, I don't know, man, because you look at the schedule and they have to face the 49ers and Bengals in the next few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
There is one team that I think is sneaky.
Is it the Panthers?
I think it's the Panthers.
If the Panthers win this fucking division, I'm going to lose my goddamn mind.
Like, I think there's a sneaky chance that because they don't have as hard of a schedule.
No.
And I think that there's people who are riding the high of, like, their last game that, like, oh, wow, they actually played, like, really well with Sam Darnold. Maybe there's hope. I don't know. I doubt it. I do still think the Bucs win it, but it's like, I don't know. It's a weird fucking division. But you know what's also crazy? The fact that the NFC East is not as decided as it should be because both the Eagles and Cowboys are so fucking good, and the Cowboys
they are really good. And so it's impossible to like clinch division.
And the fact that the Cowboys have a good shot to get the number 1 seed. Like that's the wild thing about what's left with this season. It's wild. This is going to be a very interesting stretch. But yeah, the Commanders Giants, they ended a tie. It was, I don't know if I take as much pleasure out of ties as you do, Matt, but I
fuck Chris, you got to understand.
I know.
Ties are amazing.
For tie-breaking scenarios, specifically.
All right, is a tie more fun at the start of the season or the end of a season for you?
I think at the beginning of the season, I kind of like it more because it kind of is like, all right, we got that out of the way. and you don't think it's going to happen again. And then it's like, oh, shit, all right, well, here we are. I don't know. Like, I think it's one of those things where there's something about it being. I would like it to be more definitive. Granted, I had a guarantee on this game, and because this game in any other reality no longer exists in our pick records, that doesn't harm me so much because with the guarantee. So that I'm at least a little happy about. But I don't know. I would have liked to have seen one of these teams win and then see where the playoff scenarios were. Now that it's a tie, it's like, oh, all right. Well, then nothing happened. We're in the same place that we were at the beginning of the week, and now we have to wait 2 weeks for these two teams to play each other. I still do think that the Washington's a better team, but we'll see come next Sunday night after this one.
Indeed. All right, now it's time for the Go Fuck Yourself game of the week. I've got the obvious one. Of course, it's the Broncos game. 9-10. The Ravens did win. Lamar Jackson did go out early, which I'm sure contributed to that. And the Broncos still managed to do dookie.
Yeah.
But we have another surprise Go Fuck Yourself game of the week. And that's Browns-Texans. And you may say, but Matt, the Browns scored 27 points. The Browns' defense and special teams scored 27 points.
Yeah.
Do you know how many points their offense scored?
0.
0 points.
Yeah.
Their offense scored 0 points. Look how much you paid for this quarterback who hasn't played football in 2 years and is a shitty person, and your offense scores 0 points. Against the Houston goddamn Texans.
Them chocolate starfish surely looked like it on that Sunday.
Yep. Melting.
Oh no.
In the hot December sun.
Oh no, no, that's gross. Oh no, I want to think about melty starfish. But anyways, I wanted to bring this up, like we made an oath, or at least I believe we did last episode.
Yes, we made an agreement
where we're not going to pick the Browns for the rest of the year, or the Starfish. I do think that our pettiness can only go so far, and I do think next season we're gonna just have to suck it up with the Browns.
No, I know.
But
I know this season is this season.
No, this season we just relish in being petty as fuck about this team. And deservedly so. I think they deserve it for us being petty about them. I am hopeful that's a sign for the future. I'm hopeful that's a long-term thing. Then again, fucking, I don't know. I just get so worried. I am a pessimist in my heart, and I just feel like there's something's gonna happen where all of a sudden they're gonna be an amazing team and they're gonna make the playoffs somehow. And it's just like,
brave the world with brave and uncertainty.
Yeah.
As I do.
Yes. That's you know what, it's a good thing to focus on. We do have some news to talk about.
Yes.
Lamar, you mentioned Lamar Jackson. He's going to be out for a little while. At first it looked more serious than it ended up being, some sort of knee injury. I forget what the specifics were. But he's going to be out for a time. And so Tyler Huntley, who has played well in his absence, when last year, so I don't think he's gonna be a complete disaster this year, but it's so weird that this happens again to the Ravens, that they're back in this position again where they lose players to injuries, especially your key player in Lamar Jackson, and going into December, and you're just now gonna have this stretch where you don't have him. It's just like, why does this have to happen to the Ravens every year now? Then another quarterback injury news, Jimmy Garoppolo, which upon him leaving the field, and we found out soon after that it was a broken foot and that he'd be out for the year. However, news broke just a few hours ago where Adam Schefter reported that it might only be, well, I say only, they're saying it could be a 7 to 8 week timetable. He could come back sometime when they're in the playoffs if they are still alive. So there's hope on that front. Now, it's worth noting though, they do have this guy named Brock Purdy from Iowa State, who they drafted this year, or at least picked him up in some capacity.
Well, no, he was drafted because and it's notable because he's Mr. Irrelevant.
Oh God,
he is this year's Mr. Irrelevant.
Oh wow,
and he may be the starting quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers potential Super Bowl team.
Could it be that this is a Nick Foles story all over again? Who knows?
That would be incredible.
How fucking poetic would it be if the 49ers knock out the Eagles in the NFC Championship game or sometime in the playoffs, and it's with Brock Purdy at quarterback, and it's like, and they go on to win the Super Bowl? Like it's like they traded the Nick Foles Super Bowl experience over to the 49ers in that sense. I all that said about with Brock Purdy, like they might end up being fine. They might end up working out because they do have a lot of great players. He has been playing relatively well though, Jimmy G, and so it is a bummer, and it slightly maybe hurt them moving forward. I don't know. What any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, the way that Shanahan works is that most quarterbacks can succeed with him.
Yeah.
However, it is a downgrade. Jimmy G is like the perfect game manager, and that's what Shanahan teams need.
Right.
And that offense, like the offense felt good, and then San Francisco happened because they always get injured.
Yeah.
When you don't want them to, so it's unfortunate.
I definitely think that right now it's okay to feel good if you're a 49ers fan. Of like, oh yeah, you blew out but you took care of the Dolphins in nice fashion on Sunday and like outscored them a bunch in the second half. And there's hope to be said. 1 week later, after teams see tape on Brock Purdy, that's when they might learn some things about him, about maybe potential weaknesses, and then they might expose that in a future game. So that's maybe the concern that you could have right now if you're a 49er fan. But I don't know. I guess I am, despite me saying that I do think it is, and both of us say that it's going to be a downgrade. I do think that they'll be okay. I don't think this is a tragedy for them. It maybe felt like that when Trey Lance went out, but I think it showed. We knew that Jimmy G was proven. This guy's not as much proven, so there's a little bit more doubt. But I just think that with McCaffrey playing as well, I mean, I don't know if he end up going out with an injury. I thought I heard about something about that.
I don't think so.
Okay, all right. So so hopefully McCaffrey stays healthy.
He scored 24 fantasy points, so I think he's good.
All right, yeah. So yeah, someone mentioned like he might have had an injury after the game, and I was just like, wait, I didn't see that. But no, so yeah, they still have McCaffrey, they still have Samuel, they still have all these great players on offense, and they have a defense that is playing out of their minds right now. Especially in the second half of games where it matters the most. Yeah. So I think they'll be fine. It is concerning, but we'll see. And the fact that he might even return later in the year, if he's still available, or if he becomes available and they're still in the playoff hunt, maybe he does come back and starts. That would be awesome. But obviously, priority should be that he gets healthy. But the other thing that I know I started with the injury news, but the one thing that's kind of wild that happened today, was that the Titans have fired general manager John Robinson, and this was a stunner because this is a guy who has been in their organization for 6 seasons now. And he has turned the Titans into being a yearly playoff contender. But A.J. Brown scoring on them probably did him in, right?
I mean, that's the hilarious thing about it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like that. I think that there has been a lot of, like, even though, like, yeah, he's done a good job of turning the team around, I think that to get over the hump, it has definitely felt like the draft picks have not really hit for them, especially on the offensive side of the ball. That generally this team has Henry, and Tannehill does play very well. Like, he's a very good quarterback, but not having more offensive firepower for this team is really it hurts them each time they get to January, and in the last 2 games, it just shows how much it kind of hurts them, because no matter how well they play, no matter how good of a coach Mike Vrabel is, was coaching around the lack of talent, like, it just constantly ends up showing its ass eventually. But
yeah,
I mean, I was trying to sing the praises of the Titans a few weeks ago, and I still do think, like, this team deserves respect for the fact that they've done what they have, despite, like, some of the challenges of injuries and not really having, like, the firepower of these other teams. But it just rears its ugly head. But do you think that this is a sign that the Titans might go into a downward spiral, though, or do you think that they're just going to try to finish out the season without him as general manager?
No, I think they'll just finish the season. They'll keep going.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not much more general managing to do at this point of the year.
Right.
So just get a new one for next year, try to rebuild, try to build back up.
It just feels weird that they're doing it now. I mean, are they just trying to get ahead of general manager? That's the only thing that makes sense in my mind, is that maybe they want to get ahead because there's going to probably be a bunch of teams that fire their general managers, and so they want, like, a first say on that. But it's a weird choice. I don't think it's a bad choice necessarily. It feels like there should be, maybe there's more of a story here, though, and we'll find out in the coming days. But yeah, AJ Brown ended that man's career. It's great.
Yes.
In that sense.
That's the best part.
Not to say, like, yeah, people losing their jobs sucks, but it's also, I don't know, it's a high paid position. He'll be fine.
He'll be okay. He'll find another.
So I think it's fun that it's just like, hey, AJ Brown wanted to dunk on his team because he wanted to stay in Tennessee. He wanted to be a Titan, and they were just like, no, we're not going to pay you.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? Why are you doing that? He was your one best guy outside of Henry on offense. What are you doing? I think we said that at the time, and we were just like dumbfounded by it. But
yeah, this was not the Diggs for Jefferson trade that they wanted.
No, 100% not. It's just ridiculous. All right. With that, I don't think there's any other news. I mean, Baker Mayfield's now a Ram. Like,
yeah,
that happened, but Rams are irrelevant. He's irrelevant. Yeah. OBJ is still in the news, but that'll come out. That he'll sign somewhere eventually, and then that'll be news.
Yeah,
it's nothing really a lot else happening.
Antonio Brown said something. He could go fuck off.
I saw that too.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where I just see him trending. I click on it just to kind of like, all right, what's going on? And you see, like, he's locked himself in his house away for police. It's like, all right, I know the whole story here. I just click off and move on. Like, I'm just like, all right.
Yep.
Yeah, Antonio Brown's just doing his thing.
The less you care about Antonio Brown, the better your life will be.
Ultimately, yeah, pretty much. We're gonna move on to do our VBBFL team number 4. But before we do that,
we're gonna take a break.
I
beat you.
Oh no.
Beat you to it.
No. Hi everyone, it's Chris, and I'm back once again to tell you all about Anchor. Anchor by Spotify has actually been the tool of choice for Team Chaos Productions since the moment we decided to get into podcasting. And the biggest reason for this is it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your computer or even your phone. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, but also Apple Podcasts and many more. And best of all, Anchor is free. You do not need to worry about any features being locked out to you. You can get it all if you just download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Happy podcasting.
Sick of talking about video games with people who just want to be toxic? Me too. So join us over at the Gaming Coop. We come together each month to talk about what we love about video games. Discussion topics range from our favorite soundtracks to the best relationships between characters. We also have some fun segments in which we play some trivia or build our school of gaming. Find us on Anchor or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Game on!
And we're back. Matt,
Yeah.
it's time to make another football team.
As long as it's not at a W place, because we already got 2 of those.
I know. I actually was thinking about that as I was going back, as I was randomizing our towns. I was just like, all right. I initially, I landed on a town in Michigan, and I got excited because I was like, oh, shit. We could have, like, a Michigan-Ohio rivalry.
No, but we can't.
But no. Well, we can, but it's the fact that the town had like 8,000 people in it. And
also Michigan is blocked out.
Is it blocked out?
Due to Ohio having Ohio.
Oh shit! I did not
because we block out all the adjacent states in addition.
Okay.
Which blocks out a lot of the West with Colorado, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say we might have to make some exceptions.
No, we're fine. It'll be fine. It'll be great.
But I don't think that this violates. Would you like to go to the state of North Carolina?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool. I say that as if like, do we really need to go to the state of North Carolina? Well, in this instance, we are going to the state of North Carolina, to go to a town I've heard about before. I don't know what this association is, but maybe I'll find out through reading about them. Sanford, Sanford. So it's basically Stanford without the T.
Gotcha. Sanford and Son was an American sitcom.
Yes, Sanford and Son, which I believe, which actually, speaking of Sanford and Sons, Dan Laurie, I think his name is, who was in that show. He grew up in my hometown.
Oh, nice.
So
that's fun.
That's the first connection I can make to Sanford and Son.
There you go.
But we're not talking about Sanford and Son. We're going to talk about Sanford, which right on the top here, Matt. When you go to history in the Wikipedia page, because that's our number one resource. Always trust Wikipedia, folks. Is a it looks like was named after C.O. Sanford, a railroad civil engineer. So once again, we're back. We got trains.
We got trains. We got a train team. We don't have a train team yet.
Well, we did do the war train last year.
We did do the war train, yes,
but
not this year. Not this year yet.
We could bring trains back. Trains
do
are
the peace train. I'm kidding.
What is that?
The peace train.
Oh.
We had the war train and the peace train.
The war and peace.
Yeah.
With trains.
Did you ever watch Sky High?
I did, but years ago. I don't remember a single thing about it, I don't think.
There was that one guy whose name was Warren Peace, and his his parents, one was a superhero, one was a supervillain.
Oh,
and it's funny because his name is Warren Peace.
Yes, I do remember that aspect. I did not remember his name. That is very funny. Probably at the time I had no idea what Warren Peace was.
Yeah.
So I probably I also just I didn't even think much about it between the difference between War and Peace. Just on the surface right here, like I do like the idea of doing a train thing again. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
Because trains are funny.
Trains are inherently funny.
I don't know. I don't know. There's just something about them that is just like choo choo. You know what I mean?
Choo choo, motherfucker. I don't know. It's just like choo choo.
Wait, something just caught my eye on this. They're talking about houses, I think, here, and one of these stones that I think that they made was starfish stone.
Oh no.
It's a sandstone that was historically a popular building material.
We cannot name one of our team Starfish.
No, we're not. That just caught my eye immediately. I was just like, did not know that existed, and second of all, I'm disappointed it's actually made out of like the material when you rub a starfish.
Yeah.
How that feels. It looks like they did also have a baseball team for a while called the Sanford Spinners.
That's neat.
I don't know what they're spinning, but they're spinning something. They're
spinning something.
Let's see. Interestingly, in 2014, Stanford established a formal sister city relationship with Yangtze, China. That's interesting. I did not know that sister cities could be a thing. That's a neat idea.
Yeah, one near me has one, and I'll tell you what it is after the podcast, as to not dox myself.
That's fair. I kind of doxed myself by bringing off Dan Laurie, but I'm
fine.
I'm fine. It's okay. But let's see. I'm trying to see. So they definitely lean into the railroad because they have a railroad house museum. They also have the Temple Theater, a historic performance center, that's located there. Then they do have a college, Central Carolina Community College, located in Sanford. That was initially my thought. I thought that there was maybe a college. This was a college town, and I guess it kind of is if you want to count community college as being a college town. But it might not be that deep.
So, from what I have seen, from the North Carolina Wildlife Federation website, they've got like a few things. Let me check. North Carolina state mammal. They do have possum. State mammal of North Carolina is the possum.
I'm trying to make it work in my head.
Yeah.
The locopossum.
The locopossum.
I do want to just point out too. There was I don't think that this person's currently the mayor, but they had a mayor called Chet Man, which just makes me think that that's a nickname that Chet Avery would assign to himself.
Oh my god, he would absolutely call himself the Chet Man at some point.
That's all that thought went through my brain on that one. I'm trying to think of other words for trains. Let's see. We're gonna look up train cinnamons.
Train cinnamons.
That, oh god, they're giving me like train as in teach, and I'm like, no, that is not what I want. Let's see. So there's convoy, there's caravan, I guess.
So the way that I think of it, like I absolutely think like possum and train can work because like mama possums carry babies on her back.
Yeah, no, I'm into it.
Yeah, like it fits, and having a possum mascot is funny.
Oh yeah. No, I am 100% into it. Here. Wait, hold on a second. I need to look this up before I reveal what I have in mind. I need to look.
Okay.
I need to look up if this is actually something. Okay. All right. Here we go. So you know how how they call trains iron horses.
Yeah.
Just call them the iron possums.
Iron possums. I'm down for that.
That's an idea. You don't have to lean on it, but it's
similar. It's similar to Mecha Moose. My other thing was just use the word rail and do rail possums.
Oh, rail possums.
Rail possum.
Yeah, that works.
Okay, it is possums, by the way.
So it is plural. It is a plural thing.
Yes, rail possums, not pot. Like it's not a group of possum. Possums is not a possum. Like moose is moose, or deer is deer.
Yeah.
Oh, but someone else is saying posse. I'm gonna ignore that one.
Oh wait, what if we called the Possum Express?
Sanford Possum Express.
What's your read? What's your feeling on Possum Express?
I kind of really like Possum Express.
Okay. I'm just trying to see.
Breaks the trend a little bit, but I think it's really funny.
Yeah, the Sanford Possum Express.
The Sanford Possum Express.
People are gonna fucking look at this list of teams and be like, I want none of these.
Are you kidding me?
Oh no, actually, well, considering our friends, they'll be like, no, we're 100% in on
They're going to love these.
Yeah, I think especially like Anthony or Kelsey are gonna fall in love with the Possum Express. I feel like
that's 100%.
That's something up their alley, I think. All right, I'm in. Everyone lock that in?
Yeah, let's lock it in. All right, colors.
All
right. We have orange and white. I'll go through the teams now. We have the Woonsocket Fiber Foxes, orange and white. Euclid Polka Deer, navy blue and yellow. Westminster Mecha Moose, gray and cyan. We don't have any reds, greens, purples, pinks, browns, nothing of that yet.
So I want to steer away from doing too similar to our War Train.
Yes.
But
so no like reds, oranges.
So then I know that limits our options though in some ways. We could do, because there's green.
Yes.
I think out there that has not been touched. There's like pinks that haven't been touched yet.
Mm-hmm.
We usually like doing a pink team at some point. We don't have to do it.
Yes, we got to do a pink team at some point. Which pink would fit Possum pretty well, because like their noses and their paws, little paws.
That's cute.
But we can't. I don't want to do gray and pink because we do have gray and cyan.
Right. No, we don't have to do gray again. Have we done pink and black before?
We have not done pink and black. That seems really fun.
You're into it?
We've done pink and green, and we've done pink and brown.
Yeah, I mean I know that what was gray and cyan, the Westminster?
That was the Mecha Moose.
Right. So I feel like if we have like one of the mute colors being like gray or black, like be in separate conferences, I feel like that's a good way of separating it. And plus, black and gray are different colors in general. I feel like it works out. So I'm down for black and pink.
Pink and black. We got it.
Let's do it. So
Pink and black Possum Express. Oh my god, I love this. I love this team name.
I just feel like we're definitely we're having a ball with this. This is I feel like we are long since the days have gone the days of the paladins or the weavers. Long,
the weavers.
Not even the mountaineers. They're a thing of the past. This is now the time of the Possum Express. I feel like there's a pun here where you pull up a poster of the Polar Express and just put a bunch of possums in there. And I feel like that's kind of what ran through my brain as well. All right.
Works.
So there.
And that only eliminates 3 states. So that eliminates Tennessee, Georgia, and South Carolina. Not a lot of eastern states left.
Well, that's for the better, because
that's okay, because we already have 3 eastern states.
Right, and there is a chance with how much Colorado eliminated that Ohio might be a western state, but we'll hopefully avoid that.
It won't be.
Hopefully, we'll avoid that.
We got like most of the Mississippi River. I don't know why that came out weird.
That's okay.
We got like that Mississippi River area. We got North Dakota. We got the Nevada, Oregon, Washington. We got all the Pacific Northwest basically.
Right.
Plus Nevada, Arizona, which I'm not counting Arizona as eliminated because I'm not counting corners as borders.
That's fair. They have that little crossroads thing in the center of all those states. Yeah. No, I respect your decision making. We'll see if Arizona ends up making it into the league, because hey, it's not only all these other teams that get eliminated, all these other states that get eliminated because of the current selections. Also, we have eliminated all of the states that have already had teams.
Yes, so eventually we will have to like either branch out or allow ones to be redone.
Right.
We also have Hawaii as the ultimate failsafe for the West. I
think so, and I think that. I mean, I feel like I've yet to get a Hawaii city in my randomizer. I don't know what that is. That's kind of fucked up. So I'm hoping at some point we get some sort of Hawaiian city.
Your randomizer is woke because Hawaii should not be an American state.
That's fair.
So it's just
that's fair. We should not have colonized there. We should have left those
people being truthful.
But you know what? It's just how things are. And it's tough circumstance. Anyways, And I did not mean to dismiss that last part.
No,
what's going down in Hawaii is really fucked up, actually.
Yes.
So more people should be paying attention to how fucked up our government has screwed that state, that area. But anyways, we will move on. That is that. We now have 4 teams locked in, and we have 4 more teams to make down the stretch. So I actually just realized that like we will probably have 4 teams by before week 18, which I guess I timed it out weirdly in my head, where I thought we would be going to the rest of the regular season, and no, we will be done at least a week early. So I'm into that. I'm down for that though. That works out because I think the last week of the regular season. It's more fun to talk about other things. But I digress. Let's talk about our NFL picks for week 14. Before that, Matt, you and we battled it out in 5 matches, and I came out on top 4-1. That was a nail biter though. Because it was the Bills game happened, and it was like, all right, Bills took care of business. Then it was the Vikings-Eagles games. And Eagles, it was like a blowout, and the Jets were like controlling that game against the Vikings. And I was just like, oh man, all right, I'm about to drop down here. But I did get the Vikings, and then the Bengals-Raiders games happened, and those 2 games were super close. So yeah, it really could have gone any direction. Yeah. But it just ended up falling to the point where you're back a little bit in that hole you were in before, but it's still 5 we still have 5 more weeks. We still have a lot of time for catch up. Anything can happen. So I went 11-3 this past week at 8 points. Oh, I wanted to throw something to you. So I mentioned earlier about the guarantee. Do you feel like that should count against me?
No. I think it does evaporate into nothingness.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it would be the same for the chaos. Like I wouldn't count that for the chaos happened.
Right. Yeah. So the guarantee evaporates, and so it's like it's kind of a win, but it's not really. I put a little asterisk next to it in my notes. So yeah, it was one of those things where I hate that this keeps happening. Like fine, ties could happen. I hate that they happen during our qualifiers because I feel like it just complicates things a little bit more. But whatever. So ultimately, I don't get it. Yeah, I did not do any. I didn't get any damage from that. I did not get my chaos though. So that is 8 points on the board for me. And then Matt, you went 8-6. You did not get your guarantee or your chaos, so you got 1 point from this week.
Come on, Miami.
I know. But where things are at right now, 118-75 is where I'm at with 41 points. Matt, you're at 115-78 to 33 points.
Yep.
But it is still anybody's game.
Guarantees are hard.
Guarantees are very, very hard. Matt, why don't you get us started for week 14?
All right. Thursday night football. The Las Vegas Raiders versus the Los Angeles Rams. Can we watch anything else? The Video Game Awards. That's what they scheduled around this, right?
Yeah, it really worked out where I'm like, I'm not watching this game because they got the Game Awards.
You don't have to watch this game.
I mean, is it better? Like, do you want to watch, I don't know, fucking
AAA studios sucking themselves off?
Right, or like, the Muppet animal showing up on stage for some reason. I don't know. He's there.
Funny.
He's the Jeff and his fascinations for the Muppets knows no bounds. But anyways, but yeah, this is an interesting game in some ways, but it's generally not good. I'm gonna pick the Raiders because they seem like they are on a streak. And it looks like they are going to face another team that is really bad. We might see Baker Mayfield in this game. I doubt that changes anything.
Yeah, I don't think this Rams offensive line is going to make the Raiders defense look really good.
Yeah.
And that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
So I'm picking the Raiders.
We'll say though, defense generally for Raiders have not been good this year. Max Crosby though is a fucking monster.
Oh yeah, he's the one exception.
Yeah, he's been playing
also Devontae Adams is fucking insane.
And Josh Jacobs,
Josh Jacobs have been fucking insane.
All 3 of them have been so great this year. It's like how the fuck did this team get in such a hole? It's just ridiculous.
It's their head coach.
Yeah, it's not great.
That's how.
The New York Jets.
Next question.
New York Jets at Buffalo Bills. The next question is, Matt, do the Jets pull off the sweep?
Do the Jets pull off the sweep of the Bills? I think it's possible.
It's possible.
But I'm still going to pick the Bills.
Yeah.
I want it to it would be fun to happen. I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going to go Bills. Yeah, it would be fun, and I feel like I want some security for this Jets team staying in the playoff race, so it'd be nice to see them get the victory. I think the Bills will be in no matter what. But yeah, I just feel like it's a tougher environment to play in. I think the Bills have been playing a lot better the last few weeks. That they might be out of their slump at this point.
Glad we're on the same page.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Cleveland Starfish take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Will the Starfish score a touchdown? They might. But the Bengals beat the Chiefs, and now that Jamar Chase is back, the Bengals are back. They give Joe Mixon back. Yeah. They are 1,000,000% back.
Yeah, the Bengals are back, and we have our agreement. So I'm obviously picking the Bengals here. This. You can tell me if you have a problem with this. I'm going to guarantee the Bengals.
I almost did, so you're fine.
Okay, because it is a 6-point spread, so it does toe the line. But yeah. I just really want to stick it to the Cleveland Starfish, and I also think this Bengals team is just very, very good. I think that they'll come back from that beatdown that the Starfish had on them. I think that they will learn their lesson, and they will beat this Starfish team, which I believe would be the first time that Joe Burrow beats the Starfish, which is
unfortunate.
Unfortunate given the circumstances. So you're going Bengals as well.
Yes, I'm also going Bengals.
Yeah, cool. Next up, the Houston Texans at the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Stop! They're already dead.
I can't.
It hasn't happened yet.
I want to fly.
Houston's already dead.
I want to fly on the wall of like Lovie Smith's office the night after the night of the Starfish game. After they lost, he goes into his office like, all right, time to watch Sunday Night Football just to get like game tape ready for this game. And like he's watched like the first 3 quarters. He's like, all right, well, I see the weaknesses. I see where we could maybe do some damage. And then the Cowboys just fucking steamrolling to 54 points after that. And the Texans is just like, I'm going to retire. or Lovie Smith, rather. I'm picking the Cowboys. And you are
I'm picking the Cowboys. Like 99% of people, which I'm pretty sure like the 1% there is just like a rounding formality. I don't think this is possible to be at 0%.
This is the type of game where if we did want to do a bet on this, I would be like, oh yeah, the Cowboys are going to win. Otherwise, I would do X, Y, and Z. But we actually have something planned, and we'll talk about that at the end of the podcast.
It's horrid. It's the worst idea we've ever had.
So I'm going, but yes, like I said, I'm gonna pick the Cowboys. I realize I usually pick second there, and I jumped the gun. But yes, the Cowboys will win.
Does that count as an introduction? Minnesota Vikings take on the Detroit Lions. Vikings riding high. Detroit also kind of trending up. Does Detroit have a chance against Minnesota?
I think they do. I think I know that I feel like if the Jets should have been this Vikings team last week and they couldn't get it done, I feel like the Lions will be the finishers here. I think they will win. It's too close of a spread for me to put anything on it. But I'm going to pick the Lions. I feel kind of good about that.
Oh, damn. Is it too close of a spread? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll change my chaos.
Oh, no.
I thought it was far enough away. It's fine. I'll figure.
No, you can. I mean, well.
Okay.
I'll allow it just because the Lions are 5. They're 5-7 versus the 10-2 team. That's allowed.
Okay. All right.
You don't, especially since it's mid podcast. I don't want to make you change anything.
Okay. All right. I'll team chaos on the Lions then.
It's worth noting that the Lions are 2.5 favorites.
Are they?
They are at least.
No. hold on.
At least on the CBS app they are. I don't know if that's if that has changed, but according to
what the fuck? Are they Man, I read that wrong.
Yeah, they're favored.
Huh.
Yeah.
That doesn't feel right.
It doesn't feel right. I'm surprised that they're favored. Too,
yeah.
Which is part of the reason why I just was like straight up picking them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then can I team cast the Vikings? No, I'm kidding. I'm not.
Ooh. I guess you could, but nah. Lions it is. Next up, the Jacksonville Jaguars at Tennessee Titans. I've been waiting for this matchup to happen. Like, I feel like we get like an early season Thursday night football game between the Jags and Titans. We haven't. This is the first time they're playing this year. But of course, the Titans are coming off a 2-game losing streak after being blown out by the Eagles. Of course, fired their general manager because AJ Brown is such a stud. Jacksonville Jaguars, meanwhile, seemed like they were on the upward trajectory, and then they got their ass beaten by the Lions. What do you think's going to happen in this game?
I'm going to go with the Titans winning the game. Even when firing their general manager, their team not being at 100%, I still do think that they are better than the Jaguars are currently.
Yeah, I am with you. It was a tougher one for me to pick because I do think that there's always something about the Jaguars that just still feels like there's specialness inside, but I believe in the Titans coming back from this. I think that they'll come back stronger. They'll figure out a way to win this game, and they'll still be able to clinch this division in easy fashion.
Alrighty. All right, next up, we got Philadelphia Eagles versus the New York Giants. Giants coming off the tie. Eagles proving that Jalen Hurts is probably the league MVP this year.
Yeah.
Right? It's like he probably is.
It's between that and Mahomes at this point, I think.
Yeah. So are they going to beat the Giants?
I think so. Yeah. I feel very good about it. I'm not going to lock up against the Giants two days in a row. But all right. Well, no, never mind. I already guaranteed. I already did my guarantee. Never mind. But I know. Yeah. No. I think we know where the Giants are at this point. That they outdid expectations. They're coming back down to earth a little bit, and we'll just see how it plays out the rest of the way if they get in or they don't. But I think the Eagles are just way too dominant.
Yeah, I think the Eagles are a really good football team, and I'm continuing on that train because it has been true so far. Yes. The Eagles will win this game.
There you go. Next up, the Baltimore Ravens. Does that mean that's supposed to go, or you go? Oh, yeah, no.
I won the last one. Yep. Go ahead.
Baltimore Ravens at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Intriguing because Lamar Jackson's not here. Intriguing because the Steelers have, I think, won their last 2 games, and have been playing at least slightly better than usual. What do you think's going to happen here?
I'm actually going to go with the Steelers. The Ravens, even with Lamar, like, just have not been that good of an offense, and maybe Lamar was part of the problem. I don't know. And Tyler Huntley will fix that. I doubt it, and I think the Steelers. I think the Steelers overall, like, maybe just a little bit more solid. So I'm going to pick the Steelers here.
I'm with you. Actually, I picked the Steelers as well. I don't know if Lamar Jackson's the problem necessarily, but I would be surprised if the offense plays better without him. But
yeah, which it probably won't.
But yeah, I think there is definitely some room for concern here. I think I can now officially bounce off where I was with this team, where I really thought that they could make a run into the playoffs, and now things are just kind of starting to fall apart, and I just don't. I think the Bengals are probably past them in division. They maybe still will be a wild card, but it's not looking great for this Ravens team at the moment.
Yeah, no, Ravens bad vibes. Yep. Bad vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, Kansas City Chiefs versus the Denver Broncos. We don't need to talk about this one. The Broncos will score about 9 points.
Right.
And the Chiefs will score maybe 90 points.
Yeah, it will, like, Russell Wilson will have one really good pass, like, 5 minutes into the first quarter, and people will be like, oh, wait a minute, maybe this is the day, and then they'll completely flatline the rest of the way. So I'll go Chiefs.
All right. Easy.
Next up, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the San Francisco 49ers. Bucs had the comeback in that Monday Night Football game where after being down 16-3, like got like 2 touchdowns at the end. Whereas the 49ers were down big early in that game against the Dolphins and then came I don't know if down big, but it was a close game and then they kind of just started blowing them up in the second half, once again showing how dominant they have been. I believe the stat was they have outscored teams like 40-7 in the last like 3 games of the second quarter. Like that's,
Jesus Christ, Tom Brady.
49ers.
And the 49ers.
Yeah.
Kind of both.
Yeah.
I'm really tired, I'm sorry.
No, it's totally fine. What do you think's going to happen here?
I'm actually guaranteeing the 49ers because I believe in Kyle Shanahan that much.
Yeah. No, that's valid. That's valid.
Yeah.
I'm picking the 49ers as well. Again, like, could I see where, like, oh, maybe the Bucs defense gives him some issues. Again, they see tape and maybe like, all right, they expose things that maybe the Dolphins would not have been privy to beforehand. I maybe, but I just still think that this team is just so good, especially on the defensive side at this point, where a broken offense that the Buccaneers I don't think they will stand a chance. So yeah,
this is not a pro Brock Purdy. It's a pro Kyle Shanahan.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yep. Next up, Carolina Panthers take on the Seattle Seahawks. If this was the year 2015, this would be a fantastic matchup. It is not 2015, however.
It's like six years ago at this point. Jesus Christ.
7
years. Oh my God. Jeez. I believe in the future NFC South champions, Carolina Panthers, and Team Chaos.
Oh my God.
In this game, the Seahawks have had such a weird stretch of games where they've lost 2, and then they won just at the final moments of that game against the Rams. Maybe that should have been game of the week. Who knows? But that was a weird showing from Seattle, and it's been a weird showing from them lately. Maybe the Panthers come off that bye and start firing on all cylinders with Sam Darnold.
If Sam Darnold is the answer this whole time, I'm going to lose my goddamn mind. If this is what it took. If this is what it took, I'm going to lose my goddamn mind. I'm picking the Seahawks.
No, it's totally fair.
I'm losing my mind.
Totally fair on that one. Next up, the Miami Dolphins at the Los Angeles Chargers. This is, I mean, this could have been an interesting matchup. They did flex this one into prime time, but like, the Chargers are so disappointing. The Dolphins Dolphins now need to, like, after having such a brutal loss, also need to kind of like answer and kind of come back and see, can they still be dominant? Can they still be the best team that they could possibly be? What do you think is going to happen here?
I think that the Miami Dolphins will win the game. You know, every team's got to get humbled every now and then. Usually it's the Washington Commanders defeating the last undefeated team of the season around like week 10 or so.
Sure, that's the usual way of things.
That's the usual way it happens. But in this case, it was Miami losing to a third string quarterback. So overall, Miami's still a good team. They'll bounce back. They'll win this game.
I concur. I feel like the Chargers, maybe the Chargers could make it interesting. They do make it interesting all the time and yet still fail to win these games. But I don't want to give up on this Dolphins team just because they had a bad performance. It was rough, but they also did not have their offensive line intact that well. These things happen. I'll go Dolphins.
Yeah. I mean, you know what they say, you had a bad day, you're taking one down. Sing a sad song just to turn it around. Yeah, that's the Dolphins here. My sad song, I'm going to be saying a sad song on Monday night because it means I have to watch the Patriots and Cardinals.
Right. I mean, maybe Sunday night's good, but man, these primetime games have been.
They've been rough.
They've been not
and on the anniversary of the day I beat Ed Walker, nonetheless.
A holy day they must ruin.
A holy day when my life was changed forever. December 12th, 2021. I think that if that's not the day, that's embarrassing, but I'm pretty sure that's the day.
I don't think anyone knows. It's okay. You can at this point just play it off as if it is.
No, because okay, so we're gonna figure it out.
All
so
right.
the early access started. Early access started December 3rd. I did not beat it in one weekend.
Sure.
The official release was December 7th. I did not beat it in one weekend, but I did beat it like in a week.
Right.
About a week. So yeah, the 12th. That would line up December 12th, 2021.
Mm-hmm. I'm picking the Patriots.
Yeah, I'm also picking the Patriots.
So
how many total points will be scored in Patriots versus the Cardinals? 2.
It'll be a safety that will just make everyone like scream in joy that there's any points happening. It reminds me of a OG go fuck yourself game of the week from earlier in the year with the Patriots and Jets, where like the last points were like a kickoff return for a touchdown at the very end of the game. People were like, "Oh my god, thank God, someone scored." So that I'm picking the Patriots. So that actually means we disagreed on one game. Total. One game total.
I'm coming back. Mounting my comeback.
You know what? Slow and steady wins the race, baby. All right. I think that works out for the better. You know what?
When there's a time limit.
No, I guess so. But hey, this is I think we've had some high octane weeks of picks. We had like a big swing in some contests. So I think 1 week where we're not like where it's just one game and we'll see how it plays out. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it because I'm in the lead, I guess. But but if you're okay with it, I'm okay with it.
I mean, I've won before.
Yeah.
Quite often before.
Well, all right. We don't have to. We don't have to bring that up, I guess. I don't know. No. So next week, let's talk about next week, because next week's gonna be a big old boy of an episode. Maybe a chance we don't do a VBBFL team. Maybe that's
that's a good idea.
Spread, because we got a big week. So we're gonna come back. We'll do our recap. We'll do our picks for week 15. So cool stuff there. It'll also be our first week where every team is playing for the rest of the year. So that's cool. But next week kicks off bowl season. All right. College football. It's my favorite time of year for college football, where weird things happen, like mayo being dumped on a coach and people laying in Cheez-It brand beds. All right.
Yep.
Like that's the layer of weirdness that college football bowl season brings. So what we have been doing the last few years is picking these bowls, but ultimately, once that happens and we move on, we don't really dwell on it. I think maybe I read the results at the very end, but it doesn't really have a whole lot of stakes. Not really that anything we're invested in. But this year is a little different. This year, and this stemmed from a commercial. Matt, how about you take this? What happened today that maybe inspired this idea? So
I was scrolling through Twitter. I don't know, mistake, but I was scrolling through Twitter, and across my timeline comes a promoted tweet. So someone paid for this. From Lindsay Lohan, the actress Lindsay Lohan.
Yes.
The actress Lindsay Lohan, who has starred in movies.
Yes.
Had an advertisement, a paid advertisement, because they do that on Twitter, where companies will pay someone to do an advertisement.
Somehow still paying on Twitter.
Somehow still paying. Which all this is still important, right? So it's an official advertisement from Pepsi, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's very specifically about a meme that happened years ago, where someone tweeted a picture of Pepsi and milk together, and they called it Pilk. And so Lindsay Lohan is asking Santa if he wants some Pilk, hashtag Pilk and cookies. And I thought it was awful, so I said, Chris, I'm going to turn this into a virtual ball boys punishment. And I was expecting to be the only one who would do it. But no, Chris was game for it.
Yep, I'm game.
Yeah. So, whoever picks the least number of bowl games correctly is gonna have to drink Pilk.
Yeah, and it'll be on a episode pretty much right after all the bowls are done. So I think that might be our week 18 episode.
Could be, yeah.
Of the podcast, if I think.
I did find a recipe.
Isn't it just Pepsi and milk? Or is there more to it? I thought.
If you want to try creating your own Pepsi milk, fill a glass with ice, pour half a cup of whole milk. The higher the fat, the higher the flavor, and top with Pepsi.
Oh no!
I'm using 2%.
Oh no! I don't know if I want to do whole milk.
You don't have to do whole milk. Do your preferred milk.
Yeah, I would just dump. I feel like it should be that we just do like regular milk and then Pepsi. We have a variety of Pepsi because I drink Diet Pepsi. And then I don't think you're not. I don't even think you like Pepsi. I think you're a Coke guy, right?
No, I'll drink Pepsi for now and then. Pepsi's a nice treat. I dabble in both. I'm not brand loyal like a true millennial.
Can we talk about how weird it is that people are very particular about their Cokes?
Well, okay, so part of that is like people our parents' age grew up in the cola wars, the soda wars, right?
Right.
Like, it was a big advertising thing. You had to choose your side. It just kind of like how it was, and then it kind of got passed on to kids a little bit. I know I was, like, super hardcore aggro Coke for a while because I drink a lot of soda, more soda than I should.
Me too.
But, I do prefer Coke. Like, it is a, like, more standard type of drink for me, but I still do like a Pepsi.
Other side note, isn't it weird that Twix has done a campaign where they have a rival with itself?
Yeah, I mean that's just marketing, baby.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just like, that's a very interesting. That's an interesting.
Really makes you think about society, left versus right.
Oh boy. Yeah. But yeah,
Speaking of another, also unrelated, you know what commercials very confused me? The new State Farm, the Jazz Bath.
Oh, okay, yes.
They're trying really hard to make Jazz Bath happen.
It's on Spotify.
It is on Spotify. I don't think it's as funny as they thought it was.
Well, because I don't know. It stemmed from because first of all, State Farm they have like the spokespeople of Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. Although I think noticeably it's been a lot more Patrick Mahomes.
Yes, correct.
But it's like the guy who is doing his like cleaning and like he's like the assistant on like not a coaching assistant, but like he actually like does like he helps do laundry for the team and like is like an assistant in that sense.
Right.
And like one day they bring up that he has some sort of saxophone in like one commercial, and now they're just leaning hard into the fact that he has a saxophone. And it's just like, are you trying to put this guy on like the level of like a Flo or like other more famous...
or the Jake from State Farm? Like, is he Jake and State Farm's second in command? Very specifically, Patrick Mahomes' like uniform.
Yeah, like I mean, like the
equipment guy.
Like, don't you already have a spokesperson that you can lead into being a character?
Right.
Weird. I there is a part of me. There's another universe where I go down the path of like being a marketing major, and I become like a commercial judge on YouTube, and I just judge commercials.
You are the one who makes the Jazz Bath.
Or I am the one that makes the Jazz Bath.
Yeah.
I am the one with the curly what's it called? The fucking
like
mullet.
A mullet?
Yeah, curly
kind
mullet.
of.
Yeah, and then
and a mustache.
And
play the saxophone.
Oh boy, that's the universe I
who do you
like
who do you think plays saxophone better, Jazz Bath guy or me?
Oh, you.
Okay. I don't play saxophone that well.
Well, I trust you. You have a career that involves playing a lot of instruments, so I feel like I trust that you lead into that. I'm pretty sure this is just an actor.
But what if he played saxophone like in high school?
I mean, I guess he could have. I mean, but I don't know. I'll still put my faith in you. I have, but granted, I have not listened to this album. Maybe it is a true art. Anyways, that was a tangent. But but yes, we will drink Pilk. Also, we should bring up too, if it is a tie, because there are, well, actually no, there's 41 bowls, so there can't be a tie.
Unless, no, there could be if we share them. Like we're not doing direct opposition. Like we could double up.
Yes. Okay.
On a lot.
Yeah, I don't know why for a second I
like if we agree on all but 2 bowls, and then the 2 bowls go, like, you win 1, I win 1, then it's a tie.
That's a tie, right? Now, yeah, I don't know why I was thinking that way. Okay, so tie scenario, we both drink Pilk.
We both drink Pilk.
If I'm being honest, that's kind of the scenario I'm rooting most for.
Oh God, we absolutely should. Like,
that's the scenario that I feel like that would bring the most joy, and it would be a conversation point where we could compare the flavors.
It would be, yeah.
But yes, so that's something to look forward to. We will plan that near the end. We'll pick our bowls next week, and at the end of the year, we will one of us will be drinking the dreaded Pilk, which, again, the more I think about it, the less I get excited about it, but I'm in. I'm excited. I want to commit to it. So there you go. Anyways, thank you all so much for listening. Watch the Game Awards, maybe. I don't know. We're gonna do it. It'll be a lot of fun. And well, because I'll probably be tweeting reactions or something. We'll see. Maybe not. I don't know. You know what? Fuck it. Do whatever you want. Anyways, see you next week.
Good night and good ball. Virtual Ball Boys has been brought to you by Team Chaos Productions. Find us on Twitter at Virtual Ball Boys and find more of our work at Team Chaos Pods.